Episode 5 Emotional Intelligence 2.0 Mastering Your Inner Weather. Welcome back to The Inner Architect. We have reached the pivotal point in our journey. This podcast is brought to you by www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com, your home for the science of self-mastery and psychological resilience. In our previous episodes, we've built the foundation. We've looked at identity, faced the shadow, understood neuroplasticity, and dismantled imposter syndrome. But today, we address the force that can override all of those, your emotions. In the 20th century, the world was obsessed with IQ, your intelligence quotient. We thought that being smart was the only ticket to success. But as we move deeper into the 21st century, and as AI begins to handle the technical thinking for us, a different kind of intelligence has become the ultimate human edge. We call it EQ, or emotional intelligence. Today, we're looking at Emotional Intelligence 2.0. It's not just about being nice or understanding your feelings. It is about the sophisticated ability to manage your inner weather so that you can stay on course no matter how chaotic the external world becomes. Part 1. The Biology of the Amygdala Hijack. To master your emotions, you must first understand why they feel so overwhelming. Deep inside your brain is a small, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. This is your brain's smoke detector. Its only job is to scan the environment for threats. Thousands of years ago, the threat was a predator in the grass. Today, the threat is a passive-aggressive email from your boss, a critical comment on social media, or a tense conversation with a partner. When the amygdala senses a threat, it triggers what psychologists call an amygdala hijack. It shuts down the logical part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, and floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline. Suddenly, you are no longer the architect of your life, you are a biological machine in fight, flight, or freeze mode. At www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com, we teach that the first step to EQ is recognizing the physical signature of this hijack. Is your chest tightening? Are your palms sweating? That is your body preparing for a war that isn't actually happening. Recognizing this shift is the moment you reclaim your power. Part 2. The 4 Pillars of EQ 2.0. To build a 45-minute mastery of the subject, we must look at the 4 pillars of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness, this is the ability to perceive your emotions in the moment. Most people are emotionally colorblind. They only feel good or bad. High EQ individuals can distinguish between frustration, disappointment, exhaustion, and envy. Self-management. Once you feel the emotion, what do you do with it? Self-management is the gap between the stimulus and your response. It's the ability to feel anger without becoming the anger. Social awareness. This is empathy in action. It's the ability to pick up on the emotional temperature of a room or another person, understanding the unspoken needs behind their words. Relationship management. This is the culmination of the first 3. It's using your awareness of yourself and others to handle conflict, inspire people, and build deep, lasting connections. Part 3. The Labeling Technique. Science-backed calm. How do we actually lower the volume of an intense emotion? One of the most powerful tools in psychological science is affective labeling. Brain scans show that when people put a name to their emotion, simply saying, "I am feeling overwhelmed," or "I am feeling rejected," the activity in the amygdala actually decreases. The act of labeling forces the logical prefrontal cortex to wake up and categorize the experience. It's as if you're turning on the light in a dark room. The monster isn't a monster anymore, it's just a chair with a jacket thrown over it. At www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com, we encourage you to expand your emotional vocabulary. Instead of saying you are stressed, find the precise word. Are you uncertain? Are you overcommitted? Precision is the enemy of anxiety. Part 4. The internal thermostat versus the thermometer. I want you to consider a metaphor. Most people act like a thermometer. Their temperature is entirely dictated by the environment. If the world is kind to them, they are happy. If the world is harsh, they are miserable. They are reactive. The inner architect, however, acts like a thermostat. A thermostat doesn't just measure the temperature, it sets it. It has an internal standard. Even if it's freezing outside, the thermostat works to maintain the climate it has chosen. Reflection pause. Think of a situation this past week where you acted like a thermometer, where someone else's mood or a minor setback dictated your entire day. Now, imagine if you had been the thermostat. What setting would you have chosen for yourself? Part 5. The EQ 2.0 Daily Practice. Emotional intelligence is a muscle. It is part of the neuroplasticity we discussed in Episode 3. You wire it through repetition. At www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com, we've developed the STOP technique for high-pressure moments. S for stop, literally pause what you are doing. T for take a breath. This signals your nervous system to leave fight or flight mode. O for observe. What am I feeling right now? Where is it in my body? What am I telling myself? P for proceed. Choose your next action based on your values, not your impulses. By practicing this, you are thickening the neural connections between your emotional centers and your logical centers. You are becoming a more integrated, resilient version of yourself. Closing thoughts. Emotional Intelligence 2.0 isn't about suppressing your feelings or being a robot. It's about having a deep, respectful relationship with your emotions so they can serve you rather than sabotage you. As you go through the rest of your day, notice the weather inside you. Don't judge it, just notice it. You are the sky, the emotions are just the clouds passing through. For more resources, including our emotional vocabulary wheel, visit www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com. These tools will help you identify exactly what you're feeling, which is the first step towards changing how you live. Thank you for being here for Episode 5. In our next episode, we're going to talk about a skill that many people find terrifying, the art of saying no. We'll discuss the psychology of boundaries and why protecting your time is the ultimate act of self-respect. This has been a production for www.selfdevelopmentpsychology.com. Until next time, stay aware, stay calm, and keep building your inner world.